So, no, things aren't quite how they seem, or at least how they've been presented all this time. I'm here again, coming to you all by myself, alone, in my apartment, our apartment. And I want to explain a few things. I want to get a few things off my chest. I want to open up and pour my heart out to you guys, all of you. Thank you all for continuously supporting, tuning in, watching, liking the videos, subscribing to the channels, all of my channels, following me on Instagram. I really do appreciate it. The easiest way to find my channels is on Instagram. But some of you may have seen the video that was uploaded yesterday. And I do want to share some more information about that. I want to have a much more in-depth conversation about that video, the topic, the title, the conversation, the discussion, the changes coming in the future. I think the gentleman's name is Steven Crowder. I believe it's Steven Crowder. And he's the one who got the ball rolling and conversation started on this no-fault divorce, apparently in Texas, I believe. From what I gathered, this could potentially be something that would affect Florida as well, which some of you may know we live in Florida. But I think that it would probably be better suited for a conversation with Michelle and me together to really bring you guys more information, more facts, more truth about the situation. She's not here. I will try to see if I can work on putting that together and bringing you guys that. But right now, I can't put a concrete time, date on that just yet. I think she's out getting more boxes. There's more to be packed up here. But speaking of things not being the way that they seem, we watched, I don't know if you saw the video yesterday, you knew that we were going to watch a movie. And that movie was Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Have you seen that movie? That movie really caught me off guard. That movie really opened my eyes to things not being quite what they seem. I don't want to give away any spoiler alerts or anything like that, but let's just say that there's Guardians of the Galaxy. They travel throughout the galaxy. They hit different planets. There's a planet in the movie called Counter Earth. And if you can imagine what Counter Earth is, think World Economic Forum, Soros, Schwab, Gates, maybe Musk, other elites. Counter Earth. I'm not sponsored by Guardians of the Galaxy or trying to get you guys to go out and spend money at a movie, because I know money is tight for some, but you may want to go check it out or at least read up on it, because I don't think that these stories, these storylines, these scripts, these ideas, these movies, these TV shows, these books are coincidental. The question is it an idea in preparation for what's to come, or is it an enlightening to what has already occurred that we have yet to experience? I'm not sure. I don't know. We will find out at some point in time, maybe not in my lifetime, but eventually we will find out. But the crazy part about it is that what we think we see, what we think we know, may not necessarily be true. And I'm becoming more and more aware of this, especially when it comes to people's opinions, thoughts, beliefs, schatomas, when it comes to money, finances, income, investing, savings, retirement, wealth, building businesses. I read a headline and it said that the changes to the GOP proposed debt ceiling limit increase would wipe out SNAP food stamp benefits. That could be a problem. Another was that there's a proposal to pay residents of California up to about $148,000. You're just going to get a check from the government for $148,000 if you're black and you've lived in California between the years of 1930 and 1970-ish. They would just give you a check, reparations. Unfortunately, I think that if that were to happen, the money would be squandered. But it's all based on what people think they know, or at least what they've been told to be true, which may not actually be the case, which has put them into a box of despair, anguish, limitation that prevents them from becoming more educated and knowledgeable about money, finances, the economy, building wealth, succession, planning for the future, doing better, striving for reaching greater heights, success, growing, helping others along the way. Instead, we typically end up envying those around us, trying to impress people we don't know, or even worse, people we don't like. Following trends that ultimately drain our wallets and our minds and our hearts, destroying relationships with family, getting stuck in a circular wheel, rat race, like a little hamster on a wheel, never getting anywhere, where a potential change to SNAP food stamp benefits matters to you. I don't want to sound insensitive. I don't want to sound as if I'm coming off as speaking down. I'm not. But any changes to SNAP food stamp benefits or any government welfare program doesn't concern me. I don't ever want it to concern me. As long as I'm able. Granted, some people are not. I understand that. I get that. But for those who are able, there was a young lady, she was on Dr. Phil, and she chose to make herself blind. And the physician, the doctor, the MD that was there, she was saying, she's like, I can't sit here on this stage and this panel and listen to this conversation, knowing that there are people who are blind due to no fault of their own, who wish they could have sight, whereas someone who has sight purposely took it away. That, in my opinion, is able. You were able, and then you chose not to be. So I understand that there's some people who are not able, they essentially are not, for whatever reason it may be. But for those who are able, what is your excuse? How can we complain? I watched Jordan Welch. He interviewed, I think it's Thomas Petterfee. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. The dude's worth over $25 billion. He's the founder and chairman of Interactive Brokers. The interview was conducted in Miami, which is where I think Jordan Welch lives. And it was at this gentleman's home, which was a $100 million estate. At his age, when asked by a 20-something-year-old YouTube content creator, what are your goals? What's left in life? You've made a lot of money. You've got a family. You've got business. You've got investments. His answer was, I want to be more successful. It's crazy. And that drive is what produces success. Never being complacent, never being okay with status quo, never looking for a handout, always wanting to do, grow, build, achieve more. Jordan Welch asked him, he says, do you remember when you became a billionaire? And he says, no, I don't. He said, I remember when I became a millionaire. And he goes, I remember when I got my first 10 million. And then he said, after that, the money came so quickly that you don't notice it. You just keep working. And at that point, your money's going to be working far more and far harder than you will, for sure. He goes, but I do remember the times that I almost lost it all. And there were at least 3 situations, 3 different events where this multi-billionaire almost was broke, wiped out. He said, those times I remember, which kept me pushing, trying, working hard, building. I believe he's an immigrant, maybe from Poland, born in a hospital that was being bombed at the time of his birth. Began selling juicy fruit bubblegum at school to make money. And no matter what, he says, when asked, hey, is there a crash coming? How do we prepare for total economic collapse, crisis, reset? He goes, yeah. Now you got, mind you, this dude manages hundreds of billions of dollars on Interactive Brokers, which is an exchange platform for trading and investing stocks, ETFs, mutual funds, crypto. He says, yeah, it's going to be bad. It's going to be real bad. It's going to be the big one. He says after that, companies, businesses will no longer, they'll cease to exist. And stocks will be no more. His business, his company, his wealth is based on stocks. And he's saying that they won't even exist. Never again. That doesn't mean he's going to stop now. It doesn't mean that it's going to happen tomorrow, literally. He's continuously working towards building, growing, achieving success, planning, strategizing, preparing and protecting his family. And the key takeaway was that he said, no matter what happens, no matter how bad it gets, they can never take away your knowledge. He said his mother told him that, taught him that. So if you have the knowledge and you are able, or if you're able, go get the knowledge. They can't take that away from you, folks. But more importantly, you got to do something with it, okay? And the lies, the mistruths, the falsehood that they want you to believe is that there's no solution, there's no answer, there's no way out. You'll never succeed. You'll never do better. You'll never get your head above water. You'll never stop living paycheck to paycheck. You'll never be okay. You'll never be middle class. You'll never be wealthy. You'll never be rich. I don't believe that. I don't believe that at all. And I can introduce you to many people who feel the same way and have proven that this is not the case. This is not true. But I guess it all depends and comes down to, what are you seeking? What are you consuming? What are you allowing to influence your thoughts and your behaviors? What are you listening to? Because I can guarantee you that a very, very small percentage of people who are watching and or listening to this video are not really listening to what I'm saying. They don't hear me. It doesn't compute. They've possibly created this idea, this thought, they've envisioned what life will be, despite realizing what life actually is. And they've made this preconceived notion about what this video is about, and they're not listening to me. And I can prove it. Go watch the video I put up titled "No Fault, No Divorce" and read the comments. I don't know how or where these comments come from, but they're not from people who are actually watching and listening and paying attention to the video, let alone the title. And they've painted this idea in their mind of what isn't really real, what's not what it seems. But I think it's because they've been trained, they've been conditioned, they've been taught this throughout life. Never to question anything. Never to have the patience to listen and digest information and then analyze it and realize the truth behind it. And more importantly, how they can use this knowledge and this information to improve and better themselves in whatever situation it may be. It could be with money. It could be with a job and a career. It could be with your own business. It could be with your health. It could be with fitness. It could be with relationships, boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, parents, children, mother, daughter, brother, sister. It doesn't matter. I know already. I know. No, you don't. There's no way you could know. Because this is new. This has never been created. I'm creating this right now. You can't say, oh, I know already. I know. No, you don't. And if you do, then you ought to be at the highest level possible of whatever your passion is. Otherwise, you can still stand to learn more, know more. There's a constant change. There's a constant evolution. With that being said, the change and evolution that we are experiencing right now, there's no change. There's no evolution in the state of my wife and my marriage, our relationship, stronger than ever. We're not getting a divorce. We're not separating. We're not splitting up. We're actually coming together, joining more so than before in the content that we create, in the diversity that we are building throughout multiple channels, multiple outlets and platforms to reach you guys, the ones who are actually listening at this point in the video. We are diversifying our strategy, expanding our reach to further increase our return on these investments. Whereas our returns are our time, our investments are our time. The return is the income, the money, the revenue, the profits. Every now and then we do make some financial in cash capital injections, whether it be equipment, technology, services, systems as services, SaaS, travel expenses, accommodations, props. I think Michelle is going to end up buying a a kayak soon. It's going to be a business expense. It's going to be included in content that's being created. It's going to increase our activity levels and enjoyment in life, but also produce more money and revenue from this investment that is now an asset of the business of the company. We will be splitting our time up and devoting more energy to other channels. So yeah, sure, there's a little bit of a separation there. But I think it's for the best. I think it's all good. I think it's all a positive move moving forward for you all and for us and our mental state and our hearts and our wallets, our bank accounts, our checking, our savings, our investment portfolios, our businesses. People ask me, Kevin, are you worried about running out of food? No, I'm not. I'm not worried about that. Not in this country, okay? Not in America. I would be more concerned with running out of money before I ran out of food. The food will be there. But if you don't have money, it's hard to have food. Plain and simple. That's just me being real, me being honest. I'm a realist, okay? Kevin, you need to read your Bible. You need to get right with God. You need to get with Jesus. Look, you do you. Nothing against it. I'm a realist. I believe in being a good person, being kind, helping people, but I'm not gonna bury my head and live inside of a Bible. Because for everyone who has this counter argument for what I talk about, what I say, how I feel, what I share, I would love to see you give it all to the Bible and give it all away and free your mind of worldly possessions and working and generating income. And you tell me how long you can survive in this world that your God created. I'm just saying, let's be real. We don't have to ignore it, but we also need to understand that, these are parts of a whole, okay, folks? And don't get me started on the churches that are for profit. Nonprofit organizations, churches make money. Employees and board members make money. The nonprofit organization is just a business entity organization set up structure for tax purposes. They're making money. Some of them have been exposed. Others are flying under the radar. But don't get me started on this, okay? There's a simple, basic, primal, instinctual level of survival, and that today includes money and making more of it. Making your money make more money so that you don't have to continuously work until you die. Inflation is going up, CPI is going up, brink of a recession, job loss risks, debt ceiling limit crisis, impacts to Social Security trust funds, SNAP food stamp benefits, other government handouts, welfare, no more stimulus checks. Those ain't coming. Higher taxes. Ladies and gentlemen, we have to do what we have to do to make more money. We have to spend less than we make. We have to budget. We have to eliminate debt. We have to save and invest. I'm not worried about the banks collapsing. I'm not worrying about the dollar disappearing. Because none of that really matters. What's most important is the security, diversity, and cash flow, okay? Whether it's a dollar, whether it's a franc, whether it's a pound, whether it's a Bitcoin, a Dogecoin, an XRP, a CBDC, a ruble, a BRICS, I don't care. Whether it's gold, silver, platinum, junk silver, it doesn't matter. I don't care what they want to call it, okay? I got to secure it. I got to have diverse methods of producing it. And I need to have ways of continuously creating and continuing with cash flow, no matter what. Cash flow for those who may not necessarily be aware, is no different than saving, retirement, Social Security, 401k, whatever IRA, retirement strategy you have set up. It's going to produce cash flow. That's what it is. It's cash flow. It just typically doesn't go by that term. But you have to have that in order to survive. So let's try not to get too hung up on what we think we know or what they want us to think we know, and focus on what we can learn, gain that knowledge, put it to great use, and in turn, improve our lifestyles, improve our relationships, improve our physical and mental and emotional health, improve the world, or at least try to. If you guys want to know more, feel free, reach out, hit me up. Easiest way is probably going to go ahead and jump on Instagram. You can find me there. Check out my about. I got a link over there. It's on the banner of this channel. Or if you're on Instagram, it's Kevin_24x7. There is a fake account pretending to be me on Instagram. Do not click that one, okay? Kevin_24x7. That's it. There's nothing after the 7. If you see anything after the 7, it's not me. Kevin_24x7. That's it. They're trying to scam you. They're trying to trick you. I don't want your money. I don't want to invest for you. I don't want anything from you except a follow, a like, a comment on the video. I don't want your money. I want you to make more. I don't want it. I will never ask for it. So please do me a favor and do not fall for that trick, okay? It's terrible because people keep telling me about it and there's nothing I can do. Instagram is very, very, they're not helpful in the situation. All it does is hurt me and hurt you because all I could do is just deactivate my account. They would still be out there. They're still going to be scamming people. And then I won't be able to reach you guys. So it doesn't work out. I try to get verified. It's $15 a month and they won't even let me do it. It's a long story. It's a challenge, but this is why we need the ability to have these conversations and discussions back and forth one-on-one. I'm talking real people having real talks about real stuff, making real change, making real things happen. Like that play button. I don't know if I'll ever get a play button on this channel, but it's my wife, Squirrel Tribe. She got her play button. She'll probably get more. But at the end of the day, the play button doesn't pay any money. It's cool. It's great to look at. But what matters most to me is the cash flow, is making that money, protecting that money, investing that money, and making that money make more money for me in the future. And I hope you guys can experience the same if you so choose. I appreciate you guys watching. You guys take care. Be safe. See you real soon.